Hey,
What?
check.
Okay. We are live up in this bitch. Nobody's watching it, but we're live up in it.
I'm glitching.
Huh?
I'm glitching.
Who's glitching? Glitching in the Matrix.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm putting some music on. You like music, don't you?
I'm playing with this.
I rock some hip hop this morning. I like that shit playing.
It's volume down.
Can you see the volume? I don't know. I haven't seen the remote. Have you seen the remote? Taco Bell and Baxter. Taco Simon's tip on that scene. They're all twists. No center. That is a dry twist. Water. Pitiful display, my friend. Pitiful display.
Is that pretty right down?
No. This isn't on either.
Let's continue laughing.
I ate that nut right earlier this week. You ate most of it.
Did not.
Yeah.
You did.
No. You go ahead and open this bitch out that nut right. You ate good stuff.
I ate my hot little candy bar.
You ate all three must be okay.
No, I'm talking about the mustard.
Nothing.
You ate all the candy.
Yeah.
I miss you.
What other pins?
I miss you.
These. These.
Miss black or brown.
I don't see no. Excuse me. I don't see no rose gold.
Yellow. No gold on here.
I got orange.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. And look in the book to make sure they're all there at the bottom.
More stuff. You did.
green and blue missing. I don't know what color. There's green, blue there, but it's green missing. Maybe he's covering where he's putting it. What color is it? Where is that? I'm missing a blue one. Missing a blue. Okay. It only spits out for some reason. That one with the bunny rabbit on it. Man,
That remote's better. Practice problem. Windows 3 go. I don't see it.
Actually, I got it off. Watch it. Try this.
Researching.
Shit, I can't even talk right. What am I gonna do when I work? There's too much there. Voice, and I can't help it. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Sing the song.
Yeah.
You got an hour to get some shit ass. Yeah.
So that I know it. I wasn't
And if you lay on the couch instead of on the computer, a little more perfect. Huh?
I was always doing that. Sweet.
What? Who's got Monopoly? Oh, that Monopoly game is good. Huh? Yeah, did you ever download the app? $5.29. What? Today's Saturday, right? Sun should be coming up in a minute now.
For a matter of a few hours, I went from doing something right for somebody
Babe,
to facing life.
I watched this show yesterday called Don't Pick Up the Phone. It's a true story. Listen to this shit. This dude that was a cop called, let me see, remember how many, called over 70 fast food restaurants and talked the managers into strip searching either young employees that were girls or young customers by saying he was a local policeman and somebody had their wallet stolen and they were trying to get a detective over there, but if they wanted to go ahead and get it taken care of, they could strip search the person. And so these young women and young men that worked at McDonald's and different places like that are getting strip searched by the McDonald's manager. I mean, body cavity search and all kind of stuff. Huh? Yeah.
For what?
One customer was a boy, it's a 17-year-old boy.
What are they searching for?
Some money that was stolen, a wallet with $50 in it. You could believe over 70 people believed that shit and did it. One of the girls is suing McDonald's over it.
Forced to strip after someone called the Mount Washington restaurant posing as a police officer. Louise Ogburn was awarded more than $6 million in a lawsuit.
He talked one of the McDonald's managers into bringing this young worker in the office and then calling her husband, who didn't even work at McDonald's, to come up there and sit in the office with this girl while the manager lady went back out on the floor because the business was running, and then had got on the phone with the husband and had him finish strip searching the girl, had her doing jumping jacks naked, and then had her sucking his dick. Huh?
Did they, Lord?
This was going on for 10 years and didn't seem to stop it, get the word out to stop it. So
This is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Is there that many fucking morons out there?
it's also responsible for not protecting their employees. That's the whole thing. If they did it to protect their bottom line, not protect their employees, they're absolutely It was astounding, the fact that McDonald's had been aware of this occurring at many of its restaurants, and the remedy would have been very
That beats all I've ever stepped in.
This was Ms. Oldfather's, one of her major arguments to the jury. It would have been so simple for McDonald's to simply notify each of the stores. Put up a thing by the telephone, put up a sign that said there's a hoax caller. If this occurs, don't do anything, it's a hoax. But they did not warn their employees.
Do you think McDonald's tried to cover this up?
I'm not going to comment on
I think what was shocking about the civil trial was the details of how many fast food joints were involved.
Yeah, no
and
shit.
How many settlements had happened that people didn't know about.
You better be getting ready or getting sick or something.
It almost seemed like there was an effort to keep
Nobody in court but me.
whether that happened or not, we don't know. But I think there was a feeling that that's what was happening.
Robbie don't come in early, I have to stay there till 3.
We probably all individually had the feeling that this was only us and felt stupid and dumb about it. So you could probably interview 99 of those 100 women and they would feel like singularly responsible and foolish.
Just knowing that there are more people than just myself, like that helps a lot.
It wasn't just that they weren't stepping up and informing people or providing better training or even some kind of a warning or acknowledgement. And the question is whether they were actively hiding it. It wasn't just about them. At the end of the day, if the hoax caller needs to be made to pay for his actions,
People were humiliated everywhere. They believed that David Stewart was connected to all these other cases, these fast food cases, whether he was or not. His name was linked to them all.
David Stewart went back to Florida on a lowered bond, and that's where he remained until they had a trial date set. While Stewart's out and enjoying being back with his family, I'm trying to get to make sure I got the I's dotted, the T's crossed. I'm thinking, okay, you will take your last walk into the courthouse and hopefully right on over to corrections, and that'll be the end of it.
If he goes to court and they don't put him in jail, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
And it is a huge deal in Boulder County. You've got news crews from all over the country.
I said if this guy goes to court and they don't put him in jail, I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
Sexually assaulted inside a McDonald's because of a hoax caller.
Prosecutors said they traced prepaid phone cards allegedly used in the hoax to David Stewart, a former Florida prison guard.
Everybody wanted to know more about David Stewart. Where did he live? Was he married? Did he have children? He was a husband and a father of 5. And they couldn't find anybody to say anything bad about him around his community. People liked him.
he made the call or calls. I absolutely feel that he needs to be made to pay for this. I was all stirred up and like, give him hell kind of attitude. Because to me, I was so personally wronged and it was awful.
This was the biggest case that I'd had. The night before the trial, I'm thinking, all right, the day's finally here. And hopefully, everything goes right. I think I've got an airtight, air-sealed case.
At this point, I did my job. We have a great case. We've submitted it to the lawyers in the trial courts at Mount Washington, and it's now up to them to prosecute this case.
Romance walked in and putting on the show that attorneys do. I'm thinking Romance can blow all the smoke he wants. He can't blow this up because every police officer that I've talked to said, you got the best case in the nation.
There were so many things that just seemed very inconsistent with the portrayal that the police and the prosecution was trying to make.
It was very important to me to make sure that we followed all the way through and that he was found guilty.
The police think every case is a slam dunk, and which is why the police's version is what's put out to the media. As we've learned over the last 2 years or whatever with the social justice protest and George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and cell phone cameras, the police's version of what happened is almost never what actually happened.
We have inline purchasing the compound.
Do my
We
369
had
shit.
David Stewart entering the Walmart on the day of Massachusetts card to purchase wearing CCA security type uniform. We have David Stewart identified from these photos from the warden at his jewelry work. If that's not enough evidence to convict somebody, I don't know what is.
The Walmart video was really kind of portrayed as the bombshell or the irrefutable evidence of his guilt.
No, see.
Could it be David Stewart? Sure, it could be David Stewart. But beyond a reasonable doubt, is it David Stewart?
That's all bull crap. I mean, you can still look at Sturt and tell that's still Sturt.
It's him. Not like, there's no question about it. Perfect match.
But even with that, the rest of the evidence was so inconsistent. That to me was not even close to sufficient evidence.
6 things that I think
We went through his work schedule. Every time a call was made that we could track down, we could show that he was not at work. He was available to make this call. And he was very familiar with the area where some of these calls were made from. One that was nearby, a payphone where he used to deliver gas.
There were some of those calls that David Stewart had an alibi that they could not refute. His wife testified that they had a set schedule, and when she worked, he was to pick up the kids. Our investigation uncovered that Stewart did not make it.
He had a guy driving all over the place. He might make a phone call from this payphone, and then later he might make a phone call from another payphone. Callers using calling cards, and he thinks nobody would track him down.
He happened to be in the store when calling cards purchased. We had a near confession.
6.
We were this close to him admitting this. And he goes, thank God it's over. That was it. Didn't say another word. Put the fifth. Done.
Yeah, bold. Big bold.
When the police interrogate you for a period of time and you never admit to committing a
Bold, big
crime,
enough to mix something in.
finally they're done questioning
Excuse
you.
A bowl big
You say,
enough to
"Thank
mix
God it's
something
over."
in.
That has a lot more to do with
Specific one or any bowl?
Any big bowl.
a confession
Not
of
sure.
a crime.
All
Not sure.
It's not David Stewart.
Health was.
The facts are there. The evidence is there.
Part of the prosecution's case was that David is this Svengali mastermind con man who can convince people to do things over the telephone that they wouldn't ordinarily do. It's just wholly inconsistent with the person that David Stewart had been his entire life.
His lawyer painted that story that he was a family man, good, hardworking guy, had a police officer as a brother, and really did a good job of telling the jury that David Stewart is not the guy.
The jury came back after only 2 hours of being out. I didn't really know what to think.
Where's the milk?
David Stewart was facing 10 to 20 years.
I don't think we have
The
any.
judge asked them if they reached a verdict, and they said yes. Kind of sucks all the air out of the room.
Okay, and 9.
The executive matter is found not guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree sexual abuse.
There has been an unbelievable end to an unbelievable Florida story involving what amounted to a long-distance rape.
Like been hit with a 2 before. I mean, all just sort of saying that.
I just went, I'm numb. I'm like, what the fuck?
This was the only time that I can remember in my career that I got a not guilty verdict, but there's nothing I can do to change it.
People were just stunned. The case was not won. There wasn't enough proof, there wasn't enough evidence for a jury to believe that it was David Stewart.
The issue in this case was they didn't have anything that is indicative or proof of David Stewart making the call.
Maybe I could have done a better job interviewing him. Maybe we should have not interviewed him and hoped that we didn't know we were there and put him into surveillance. In my view, we didn't arrest the wrong guy. We arrested the right guy. He was brought to trial, found not guilty. That's the process.
Do I think David Stewart's innocent? Yeah, I think David Stewart's innocent. There's obviously a difference under the law in not guilty and innocent. And I know for a fact he's not guilty.
We presented the best possible case that could be presented.
To bring justice for Louise and the other victims.
Could I have arrested the wrong guy? I don't think so. I mean, nobody dropped those calling cards in his room.
There are a lot of questions that have never been asked that need to be asked. The only thing I knew was is my client didn't do it, and the jury agreed.
To my knowledge, still today, I've not been made aware of this exact crime still ever happening again.
What's really hard to believe is that only 8 people were charged, and they were managers of the restaurants, not the caller. But there were hundreds of calls, and people wonder what happened here. Were all the cases not investigated? Were people afraid to report it?
Since 2004, these hoax calls have stopped. Justice wasn't served to the caller. Whoever made those calls is a disturbed individual. Who is it? This individual, this hoax caller, is an evil sex predator, dangerous to society. The calls have stopped for now. But have they stopped for good?
Davis was found not guilty of all charges. However, the actions brought against him in connection with any of the other hoax calls. Holy fucking shit. So I'm going to talk about success rate against McDonald's. I think McDonald's not speaking what happened with the talk wrong. However, if there are official charges proceedings, the shield victim of the malicious hoax perpetrated by individuals. McDonald's said one staff about the hoax call prior to the Washington incident says the man provided the staff with a safe, respectful workplace. McDonald's wrote a comment and decided not to.
Welcome to the CIA. Only you've been here 10 minutes, but you're a very busy man. I get it. You're running the whole operation. You mean how long I've been working here? About 2 days. What is this?
Every letter is from someone threatening to expose classified information if we don't help them. You're the lawyer. Figure it out.
Yeah, basically. Do your business. Get out. I'm Owen Hendricks from the CIA. We're gonna show that.
Have you made any new friends or overthrown any foreign governments?
Unbreakable. You following?
You know who is going through that, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've been followed by the entire United Nations. Is that really necessary? No.
You keep this under control, no matter what it takes.
Seriously?
You're gonna have a panic attack. Oh, I've been having one continuously since 2019. You get used to it.
Good luck. I really need it. Is there a problem?
So many. Who are you kidding? Higher stakes, maybe more challenge. But the bottom line is, I'm a guy that doesn't mind falling on his face. I'm 24 years old. I'm supposed to make mistakes, make big swings. How about a martini? How about a white claw?
This need to jump into the deep end, to prove yourself over and over again, it's unhealthy.
I think it's ambitious. It's actually just a boy. I'd like to think that I'm good at what I do. What you are is lucky. Is that pina colada?
Yeah.
When I'm playing basketball, everything goes away. I think that's why I love it so much. It's my therapy.
Welcome to another installment of Huskies basketball.
It's not even about basketball. It's about growing up. The problem is you ain't navigating through all of the hate and the drama, and you let it affect everything.
Hopefully I get a scholarship or I make something happen for my son.
You're in the SEC, and 2 months later, you're here.
If it is broken, I'm going to take a chance on your cartilage going up into your brain.
They've been rejected, and they're afraid, and I have to help them not be afraid.
Coach has been preparing each one of you for one moment. What are you going to bring when it's your time?
Whatever y'all want to do, like, I'm here.
What's up, Slick Rick?
It's really hard to look back on it now and go, what on earth happened?
That's the sound of heartbreak all around the world. She's becoming a royal rock star.
And then everything changed. There's a hierarchy of the family. You know, there's leaking, but there's also planting of stories.
There was a war against Meghan to suit other people's genders.
It's about hatred. It's about race. It's a dirty game. The suffering of women marrying into this institution is feeding frenzy. I was terrified. How human history repeats itself.